right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our final day of Community College Week, Delgado Preview Day. My name is Nikki. I'm the Assistant Director of Recruitment and Outreach, and I'll be providing a presentation today on the general information about Delgado, and then we'll put you all into breakout rooms with your division faculty representatives so that you can learn a little bit more about the programs here. If we are streaming this to live to Facebook, so you can refer back to this presentation later. So if you're following us on Facebook, please post any questions you have in our comments section. For everyone in the meeting, if you could just stay muted so that there's no feedback with the presentation. If you have any questions, please throw those in the chat. I'll keep an eye on that. Or after the presentation, you can unmute yourself and ask those questions. So I'm gonna share my screen so I can give you our presentation. All right. So mostly today, I'm going to focus on our academic division. We do have 3 different divisions here at Delgado, or 3 different parts of the college, rather. I'll touch a little bit on adult and workforce, but mostly I'm going to focus on the academic division. We have multiple locations across Greater New Orleans area. City Park is our largest location, right across from City Park, has the majority of our programs. We also have 2 campuses on the West Bank, one in Algiers and one in Avondale, our River City campus. Our Charity School of Nursing campus right near the Superdome. And then we have our Sidney Collier campus in the east, our Jefferson campus in Metairie, and our maritime industrial facility out in Gentilly. So there's multiple programs spread across all of these campuses, giving you a lot of different convenient locations to attend to take classes, although the majority of our classes are virtual right now. You know, we will start moving back to face-to-face once we get through this pandemic a bit. And so these are the different modalities. We've always had face-to-face, we've always had hybrid face-to-face, we've always had self-paced online, even before the pandemic hit. So we still have all 3 of those options, of course, limited on the face-to-face courses, but we also added virtual live and hybrid virtual live. Virtual live is like this: you're in a Zoom meeting, you meet twice a week or 3 times a week for the days that your class meets at the time that your class meets with your classmates and your instructor. And then hybrid virtual live, you meet once a week. And so you have class once a week, and the rest of it is sort of that self-paced online, sort of like a web-based. So it's a combination between the 2. So these are different modalities, even once we get through this pandemic and we start going back to having more face-to-face classes, I would imagine that these virtual options will still be there, you know, because they are very convenient for students to attend if they prefer online learning. So like I mentioned, we have multiple sort of areas of the college. The academic side focuses on our associate degrees and certificates, CTC technical diplomas, and those are all courses that you can take that can transfer to other institutions for credit. We also have our continuing ed and workforce departments, which are quicker courses, usually 4 to 8 weeks or 1 semester, which they are not credit courses, but they are certifications that can get you directly into your job field. And then adult education are free courses that are offered to sort of help you prep for college. If you're an English language learner, that's, you know, courses you can take for free. You can prep for, you know, your reading and writing skills, your math skills. You can do some college prep, and you can work to get your high school GED or HiSET equivalency. So these are all of our divisions, and we have far more programs than what's even listed on this screen, but there's so many, it was tough to kind of list them all. But these are some of the different programs that we have in each of our divisions that are represented with us here today. And some of these programs were recently ranked #1 in the country for their program, hospitality. I know Barry's here, he can talk to you a little bit more about hospitality management. I know Amanda's here to talk about our sciences and, you know, the biology programs. So the college itself was recently ranked 37th out of all the community colleges in the country. So we are very, very happy and excited about that. And it makes sense, right? You know, we have over 100 accredited programs in workforce. Our programs prepare you to either transfer to your four-year school or go right into your career. A lot of our programs have 100% or 90 to 100% exam pass rate and job placement. For those that need those exams like NCLEX for nursing or sign language, you need a written exam. You know, for those exams that you need to get employed, you know, we boast very high pass rates on those. We have about 93% of our students on federal financial aid. And so there's multiple kinds of that. I'll talk about that in a minute. But a lot of our students are able to use that financial aid so that they are coming out of Delgado with little to no debt, you know, and saving that money for either their 4-year or going straight to work. And lots of, like I mentioned already, we have nationally recognized and ranked programs. So it's definitely a good place to be. And in our classrooms, when we are physically in the classroom, and even when we're virtual, we average about 25 students to instructor, on average about 20. So very small classes. Your teacher will know you, you'll know them. You won't just be a random number in your class. You know, you will be known by name. And your instructors will be there to assist you. In our classrooms, we have our state-of-the-art facilities and technology. So everything that you see in the classroom, as far as equipment, lighting, when it comes to theater, you're going to see out in the world. So graphic design uses Mac software, Mac computers, and that software. That's what you're going to see out in the industry. That's what we use in our classrooms. The lighting boards and soundboards you're seeing in our theater department is what you're going to see in the House of Blues or Smoothie King Center. It's all what you're going to see when you get out into the workforce. So you'll see an image here is from our allied health. You know, all the equipment is what you're going to see when you're in those hospitals. So we're really working to prepare you to be the best you can be once you leave us and go into your career following your time here at Delgado. So if you are working towards your bachelor's degree, this is obviously a fantastic place to start doing that. We have articulation agreements with all of our 4-year institutions. For the public 4-year institutions, our Louisiana transfer degree will allow you to transfer up to 60 credit hours, roughly 2 years of your 4-year degree, with all those public schools that are listed at the bottom of the slide. So UNO, LSU, ULM, ULL, McNeese, Nichols, Grambling, you know, all of these schools will easily transfer those credits to help you earn your bachelor's. And for private institutions like Tulane, Loyola, Dillard, Xavier, Holy Cross, we have a lot of partnerships and 2+2 articulations with those schools for specific programs. So for example, Holy Cross, our culinary program goes into their food science, Xavier's pharmacy to pharmacy. So there's still a lot of those agreements with our 4-years. And the reason why that's such a smart move is because you're saving a ton of money by starting with us and then transferring. So you can see by this little chart here, you're saving nearly close or at least half of your tuition and fees by starting with us and then transferring to your 4-year institution. You being able to use a lot of that financial aid money, you know, either at your 4-year or some of it with us and then having some left over. So the process is very straightforward. On our website, you can write directly on our homepage. We have an apply now button. Our application is free. It has been for quite some time. Once you've applied, you'll get an email within 24 hours, kind of letting you know of your acceptance, and then a couple emails following that from our chancellor, a welcome email, next steps. And so your next step after you've been admitted is to meet with an academic advisor. So you can set up that course plan and register for your classes. So right now we do have summer and fall registration open. So anytime from now until classes start, you can join our virtual office, meet with an academic advisor, sort of make out that course plan and get registered. And also we have a Maymester, which will be opening up registration in about a week or 2 weeks rather. And Maymester is just a very quick, very quick semester to just kind of knock some credits out of the way. We do not have a placement test, so there are 4 different options for you. One of them being the AccuPlacer placement test. If you want to take that test, you can submit ACT scores if you have those from the last 3 years. You can take a questionnaire for your A-Lit for English and reading, or you can just enroll directly into those pre-college developmental courses. There's only one now for English and reading and one for math. So if you do decide to take those pre-college courses, you only have to do that for one semester and then move on to your college level. So lots of different options for you as far as placement goes. And the requirements are very basic. We have an immunization records, or you can do the waiver that's on the application. For males 18 to 25 with a social security number, we do need your proof of selective service. And upon request, we may or may not need your high school transcript or GED high set transcript. It's not required for admission, but it is required for financial aid. So if you happen to go into verification for financial aid, we may need to get that, but we'll let you know if you have to turn that in. So very, very few documents. If you are coming from another college and you want to transfer those credits in, we will need your official transcript from those institutions. You don't have to transfer your credits, it's up to you. But if you want to, we will need those transcripts. And if you're coming from an institution from another country, you will have to have those evaluated to have the US equivalencies on the transcript with the course descriptions. So depending on what type of student you are, will kind of depend on the document you'll have to submit. In addition to going to your classes, we do have a lot of student life that's very active, and they've stayed very active throughout this pandemic time as well. Of course, it's a little bit easier in person, you know, to go to our baseball games, our basketball games. Our Student Government Association does a lot of events. We have an honors program, a radio station, leadership society. So our leadership society is maintained over online. Student government has done events. Our theater department did an entire show last semester through Zoom. So we've been able to maintain a lot of this student life even through our virtual pandemic time. And we know that throughout your time here, we want to make sure we're supporting you in your journey through Delgado and to graduation. And so we have a lot of support services that we always encourage our students to utilize to help you make sure that you're staying on track and that you're working your way to graduation in the time that you want to graduate. So one of those is Single Stop. That has a lot of services like financial planning. They have a lawyer on retainer for students. We have a care corner with a food pantry, mental health counseling. They help you with your taxes. So right now, tax season, they're doing taxes for free. Trio Upward Bound offers counselors one-on-one to students that qualify, and they will stay with you throughout your time here at Delgado to make sure that you have all the resources that you need and that you're staying on track, and they meet with you very regularly. We also have Writing Center and Learning Labs. So we have a math tutoring lab, a science resource lab. We have computer labs, our library. All of these are equipped with people who can help you kind of navigate using all of the resources that we have for learning. We also have a Veterans Affairs Office and Veterans Upward Bound for our veteran and military and dependents of military. We have disability services for those who have a documented disability. We can make sure you have the services that you need in your classes, such as a note taker, extra time taking tests, or a secluded place to take your exams and things like that. Our Career Services Department can help you from pre-Delgado all the way until you graduate. They can help you do career exploration if you're not sure what you want to do for your career, or you're not sure what major goes along with your career. And then they can also help you do a resume. They have job fairs that you can attend when you get closer to graduation. So lots of assistance there. We also have a Single Mother Success Program, which is geared towards assisting single mothers and making sure that they are able to stay on track with the busy lives that sort of come with being a single mother. So how are you going to pay for school? There's a lot of different types of financial aid. Grants and scholarships is money you do not have to pay back. And so that is the Pell Grant, that's TOPS, Delgado scholarships, private scholarships. Delgado scholarship is currently open right now. It's just one application for all the scholarships that we offer. So one essay, one form that you have to fill out, recommendations, but it's only have to do it one time, and everything that you're eligible for, you will potentially receive for that. So I do encourage you to go to our website under financial aid, check out our scholarship. We also have verified a number of third-party private scholarships that we have probably close to 100 or more listed on that page that are offered at all different amounts and deadlines, but they've all been verified by our financial aid department. Loans is money that you do have to pay back. So we always tell students to be sort of cautious about taking those loans. A lot of our students don't need it. It's covered by Pell Grant or TOPS or scholarships, and then they can save their loans for future schooling, or just not have to take those. And then we have college work study. A lot of our departments are currently hiring work study students where you can work on campus in one of our departments and be paid sort of the same way that our staff are paid. And that could be in a department like mine. It could be student life. It can be in a computer lab, kind of whatever your interest is. You can kind of look at the jobs that we have on campus. So if you haven't filed your FAFSA yet, there's 2 FAFSA applications currently. If you are planning on attending in the summer, you're going to want to fill out that 2021 FAFSA application. If you are not planning on attending till the fall, you're going to want to fill out that 21-22, which is going to cover you for the whole year moving forward. You do have to file your FAFSA every year, and we do have a number of FAFSA completion events that we have coming up throughout the next several months. Where you can come in, ask any questions you have about FAFSA. We'll have a financial aid counselor hosting this, and they'll kind of walk you through how to do the FAFSA application. So you do not have to be a U.S. citizen or legal resident to attend Delgado, but you do have to in order to get federal financial aid. However, your parent does not need to be a citizen or legal resident. You do have to have, like I mentioned, your diploma or high setter equivalency. If you are looking to get TOPS, you have to have that minimum GPA and ACT requirement. And you have to just prove your financial need, which is something that the federal government will kind of determine based on your application. So if you haven't done your FAFSA, I encourage you to do that as soon as possible, or come to one of our events. Let us help you contact our financial aid department. We can kind of walk you through it and help you with that. And lastly, I just want to touch very, very briefly upon for-profit institutions. Not to say that they aren't a valuable asset. However, we do like to make sure that students are doing research on these. Oftentimes, you can be told that you'll finish quicker at less cost by going to these institutions. However, that's often not the case. And a lot of students that come to us, even after going to a for-profit, are end up in debt because it's very expensive. And those credits then don't transfer because they're not accredited the same way that that community colleges and four-year institutions are accredited. So just sort of do your research if that is something that you're thinking about. So a year from now, you wish you would have started today. And so you already are on the track of starting today by being here. So thank you so much for joining us. And this is all of our contact information. We are across every social media platform on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, trying to get that information out to you. You can always email us and check our website as well. And right now, I'm going to hand it over to Stephen Edwards to talk briefly about our honors program, just because honors doesn't really fit into one program. It goes across the board. So I want to give him a chance to tell you a little bit about it before you go into your breakout rooms. And once he's done, I'll move you into your breakout room. So y'all can start putting the major that you're interested in the chat. And I'll hand it over to Stephen.
Good morning. We have an honors program at Delgado that is designed to serve the needs of academically advanced students. The program is an academic program, which means that it allows students to participate in specially designed honors courses. These are courses that are usually all honors students, although we also have some mixed regular students and honors students. And we also have what's called an honors option contract that allows students to turn just about any course at Delgado into an honors course. The requirements to be selected for the honors program are to have 3.0 grade point in college or in high school. You can do the honors program your very first semester if you like, or exceptional leadership or service. The most important thing, if you're interested, is to go to the college website and either pull down under academics and find honors program, or go to www.dcc.edu/go/honors. And you can find all the information about the program, including my contact information, so you can get in touch with me. We have a very active student honors council that advises the academic program, but also does various extracurricular things. We've done a number of foreign travel opportunities over the last few years. 2 years ago, we went to Athens, and before that to Barcelona. So there's just all sorts of things. If you are an academically gifted student, please consider coming and joining us for the honors program. And I'll answer any questions people may have if they come into the breakout room.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen.
Welcome.
So yeah, I'm going to move everyone to their breakout rooms now. Once I open up the breakout rooms, for those of you that have already listed your programs, you will have a little pop-up box that says, please join your breakout room. So just go ahead and click on that. I'm putting Stephen into our arts and humanities space. So if you have questions about the honors program, please just let me know that and I'll move you into that room. For those who've listed pre-nursing, I'm going to keep you in this main room because I'll talk to you about the nursing program. And if you haven't listed your program yet, please go ahead and do that so I can make sure I move you into the room quickly. We only take about 15 to 20 minutes in the rooms themselves. So I want to make sure you get the most time that you can there. All right, so I'm going to open those rooms. So go ahead and click and join. And I will continue to assign people to their rooms. So please let me know what you are interested in. I'll also talk about motor vehicle because Chris was not able to make it today. All right, so I think I got almost everyone. Whoever has the iPhone, if you could just let me know what program you're interested in, I will move you. And then for Joanne, Yusina, and Emily, I'll keep you all here in this main room to talk about those programs, nursing and motor vehicle. Any? All right, well, I will get started. So I'm going to start with motor vehicle just because it's a little bit quicker to explain. And I'm actually going to share, the website so you can so I can kind of show you where to navigate through this space as well. But so our motor vehicle program it's the only associate degree program in the state for motor vehicle. And there's multiple tracks that you can take. So we do have a certificate. And if you decide to do the shorter certificate and then later on decide to do the associates, the certificate fits right into the associate degree plan. So you can, if you're not ready to sort of jump into that associate degree, you can start with the certificate and then sort of move yourself into the associate once you're done with the certificate classes. And so there's, like I said, multiple tracks as far as your concentrations go. So we have a Ford and GM sort of asset program. And what that does is it allows you to work directly with those companies while you are doing your program. So in addition to taking your classes, you'll also have a paid internship working at the dealership. So a lot of times, obviously, our students can get hired, once they've completed their completed their program with us. The biggest difference between the certificate and the associate degree is that the associate degree, you do have to take those core classes. So you have to take English, math, science, your fine arts, versus the certificate has sort of that shorter, just the core classes of automotive. In your associate degree, you can choose between general automotive and collision repair. And then it's the same thing for the certificate. That's why the certificate fits right into the associate degree. And so you can see here, these are our the two corporate sponsors. Those are part of the asset program, but in addition to that, they also have partnerships with Chrysler, Audi, the Motorsports Park on the West Bank. I think there's maybe another one too. So there's multiple, and they're always expanding the corporate partnerships that they have, so that you know, you can work on additional cars. And so here's just some more information on the website. I'm going to put our contact, Chris, his contact information in the chat, so that you can also, and I'll make sure he has your information so he can reach out to you too, because he's usually our representative that's here, and could kind of give you more in depth. But if you have any general questions about the program, if you want to ask them or type them in the chat, I can probably get those answered for you today. And so I'm going to put it's Chris McDonald. I'll just give you his email real quick. Need to bump that out. Joanne, did you have any questions about automotive, or you just wanted to know general information about the program? Cost. Right, so the cost for all of our programs is the same. It is roughly just over $2,000 a semester, but it's based on credit hour. So it really depends on the number of credit hours that you're taking. Right now we're at about $165 per credit hour. Now, a lot of our classes are 3 credit hours, but I know with motor vehicle, there's a lot that are either 2 credits or 1 credit as well. So if you look under the program offerings here, it kind of gives you a little bit more detail, but it also breaks down the actual, it'll bring you to the catalog where you can see the actual courses. So I would recommend probably speaking with Chris to find out what classes would be good to start over the summer, so that you're staying on track with when you want to graduate. And that will depend, again, if they're 2 credit hour, 1 credit hour, 3 credit hour. If you want to be in the summer, it's a shorter semester. It's only 8 weeks. So I know we usually recommend students take no more than 9 credit hours. So you can kind of see the credits next to the courses here. We recommend students take no more than 9 credit hours just because it is such a quick semester. So it's going to be less than, you know, the full, you know, 2,300 for the semester for full time. It's going to be less than that. So really it's going to, like I said, sort of depend on how many classes you're taking. But if you go under admissions and aid and click on tuition and fees here, it gives you our breakdown of our tuition and fee table. So you can actually see, like I said, it's $169 per credit hour, just over $2,000 for full time. So you can kind of see, depending on how many credits you take, what that breakdown is actually going to look like. So hopefully that answers your questions, but if you have more, you can just throw them in the chat. I'm kind of keeping an eye on that. For nursing, for y'all, nursing is a limited admission program, and there's 3 different programs within nursing. So there is our CNA, which is very quick, 1 semester program, just kind of get your foot in the door to be able to start working in the nursing field. And then we have our LPN, which we call practical nursing PN. And then we have our RN, which is the registered nursing program. So if you want to pop in the chat which one you're interested in, I'll kind of talk a little bit about each one. Okay, we got RN. So the RN program, you have to complete your prerequisites before you can apply to the program, both for RN. Cool. So there's a number of prerequisites. Some of them need to be completed before you actually apply to the program. However, the more that you can complete before you apply, the better chance you have of being admitted to the program, and the less stress you'll have once you actually get into the program. Because trying to also do some of your prerequisite courses while you're taking your nursing courses and doing clinicals that can end up feeling very heavy. So the bare minimum you need is English 101, one college math, and anatomy and physiology, one lecture and lab. You have to take general biology before you can take that A&P. And then other prerequisites are A&P2, your second English, your second math, psychology, fine arts. There's actually a list of all those courses in the application packet. It is the curriculum self-assessment. This lists all of the prerequisite courses, and these ones with the little 1 star, these ones that I just listed, are the ones that you have to complete in order to apply to the program. Again, you do have to do all of these, but you don't have to wait to apply to the program. And with the nursing program, it's admitting for the following semester. So there's an application period in January, an application period in July. And so it admits for the following semester. So you do have a semester in between when you've been accepted to the program and when you actually start the program, where you can take a lot more of these prerequisites as well. So hopefully that makes sense. In addition to your prereqs, you have to take your Kaplan exam, which is the pre-nursing exam. And Delgado offers that multiple times throughout the semester. So you do have to take that. If you go to this profile sheet, this is how it determines, this is your scoring will determine how you're if you're accepted to the program or not. So you can see there's 4 different things on your Kaplan. So there's points for each section of the Kaplan. You have your, completing all of your prerequisite courses. And then you also have your GPA from your CSN is your nursing classes, like your prerequisite courses. So it's that GPA, making sure that you don't have any D or Fs, and making sure that you don't withdraw from any of these courses, because you can lose points if you're withdrawing or if you get Ds or Fs. So it's very straightforward, sort of basic profile sheet. You do get bonus points if you have a bachelor's degree or rather a college degree from any other regionally accredited school, or if you're a licensed LPN. So this is how you'll be sort of scored, and it will determine whether you're accepted to the program. If you have any courses from, even if you don't have another degree, but you've started college in another space, you can transfer credits over. The college itself takes all C's or higher, but the nursing program will look at any D's or F's, but only if those D's, F's, or withdrawals are in those list of prerequisite courses. So if you took a random, I'm trying to think of a course, a random sort of something chemistry class that doesn't apply at all to this, and you happen to get a poor grade or you withdrew from it, you don't have to worry about it because it's not part of those prerequisite courses. Let's see, where do you take your pre-nursing now? So you can take it at Delgado. The Kaplan's offered at multiple places, but we do offer it at Delgado. You would just need to contact our testing department. So here under the student services dropdown, there is a link for testing. And if you see, there is a link here for Kaplan. So it kind of gives you a little bit of information about the Kaplan, about the test, the cost of the test. It is $70 to take it. Prep materials if you want to prep for it. And then how do you sign up? So this has all of the links for the different campuses where you can choose where you're going to take that test. And so if you click on City Park, it brings you to the scheduler. Again, you're going to choose Kaplan, so that's nursing. And then you can see right now there's a couple dates that are out there for March, all these dates in April. So far they just have it about a month out scheduled. So you just click on the date that you want, choose the time that you want. So let's just do this one. It's at noon. and then you fill in all your information. And so you will have to pay for it when you schedule it here on the scheduler. Once you add it to the cart, you'll have to pay for it right away. And then you just, go to our testing center, depending on which campus you've chosen. You'll get an email confirmation. You'll get a reminder and you can sign up for like a text reminder to text you 24 hours before you take it as well. So you can take that right here at Delgado. Any other questions about the nursing program or prerequisites or class? It is a very rigorous program. So it is something, you have your clinicals. Your clinicals are going to place you in all the different areas of the hospital. And there's multiple hospitals that you can be placed at. We have a really strong partnership with Ochsner. And so I know a lot of our students are placed there. A lot of our students get hired straight out of their clinical hours. Basically, when you graduate, when you've passed your NCLEX test, come work for us. It's a very well-known program throughout the state and throughout the country, really. So it does put our students in a great spot. And if you do want to transfer to get your BSN, you can do that as well. You can transfer all of your credits from your RN into a four-year institution that offers a bachelor's of nursing. And some of our students do that while they're already working. Some go straight into their BSN. Some, work for a little while and get their feet wet, and then maybe decide later they want to do some more schooling. Good question. So your advisor, there's multiple advisors for nursing. Really, Tammy Scott is kind of the main pre-nursing person. I'm going to put her contact information in here, and she is located in our virtual office as well. So right now, the academic advisors are meeting virtually with everyone through our virtual office. And if you go on our homepage and click Need Help, the first page it brings you to is our virtual office information. So it tells you what time the virtual office is available. It has the link to go through Zoom and the password to join, or you can call in and use your phone. There's a host there. You just tell them your major, and they will put you in with your proper advisor. But you can also email Tammy, kind of let her know that you're interested, and she can give you some advice as well. Sorry, there's a plane going by. Any other questions? I know we had someone just join our meeting here. So if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat or kind of let me know what program you're interested in. Or any general questions about enrollment. I've got about another minute before I pull everybody back into this main room. Yes, Lloyd, what you got? Unmute. Registration for summer is open now. So you can, if you haven't applied yet, you can go on the website and apply. If you've already applied and you just need to meet with an advisor, you can join our virtual office. And from now until classes start on June 2nd or 3rd for the summer. So you can register anytime from now until then. I do recommend the earlier the better, just because those summer classes do fill up pretty quickly. All right, Lloyd, analyst program. All right, your contact for, you're talking about computer, I'm assuming computer analyst. That is one of our concentrations within our computer information technology program. And your contact is going to be Claude Richard. I'm putting their information here in the chat. I would recommend just shooting them an email. And like I mentioned, our fall registration is open now as well. So whether you're interested in fall or summer, you can register, anytime starting now for those courses. Oops, that I meant to send that not to Joan, to the general, to everyone. Sorry, Joanne, didn't mean to send that to you. Lloyd, hopefully you can see Claude's contact in there, but it's a really great program. It's one that's offered that you can get credentialing as you go throughout the program as well. So it's ultimately can be an associate's degree, but you can start off and get like your certification and kind of build on that degree. So you can get auto credentialed as you like go throughout that program. Attending Louisiana College, originally planned to become a transfer student only for the summer. It's already accepted, but now I would like to become a permanent student. Yes, so super easy. There's just one form you have to fill out to, all right, awesome, Lloyd. So Yesenia, there's just one form you got to fill out. I'll put that in the chat in the link for you here. That will just change your student type for you. So assuming right now you're probably a visiting student, you will just want to change to a transfer student because visiting students aren't able to use financial aid with us. But once you switch over to a transfer student, you can also use your financial aid. You will have to add us if you haven't already listed us on your FAFSA, if you're planning to use financial aid anyway. If you haven't added us to your FAFSA, you'll just want to make sure you add us on there. And so it's this form here. I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna message that to you. Get that link, that'll bring you to the form to change your student type information. And so it's a change of information form. It'll just ask you what you wanna change. So you just wanna change your student type and then list your major. And then just sign it and email it to, I don't know if it says it on the form or not. It doesn't. You're going to email it to Delgado Admissions at dcc.edu. So for financial aid, those counselors are not really broken by program. But they are separated by last name. So I just need to pull up the list, Joanne, and I'll get you your, I think that's what you're asking me for, is your financial aid counselor for that. So you don't have to wait, Emily, you don't have to wait to enroll with us. You don't have to wait to finish up your like spring semester in order to enroll with us for the summer. Especially if you're planning on paying out of pocket or if you're not planning on transferring any of your credits. The biggest thing is if you did want to transfer any credits to us, although if you're just coming for one semester, I don't know that you'd have to, you need to wait till your final grades come out. But if you just are going to register for a class that has like a prerequisite requirement, you'll just need to get an override for that. So rather than having to submit your whole transcript and wait for that to be processed, if there's a course that you want to register for that happens to have a prerequisite requirement that you took at your other institution, all you'll do is just submit the override form for the class that you're wanting to register for. And I'm going to put the link here for you for that override in case that is the situation that you're in. So for setting up your classes, there are no appointments. Like I mentioned, all of our academic advisors are currently in our virtual office. And so you just join the virtual office, let them know what your major is, and they will pair you with the academic advisor who will help you register. Or you can email the contact that I put for you. So Joanne, in your case, that would be Chris. You could email Chris and kind of let him know that you are wanting to schedule your classes, and he can either meet with you virtually. I don't know if he's doing in-person appointments, but he can meet with you virtually or kind of email back and forth or talk to you on the phone, whichever is, easier for you. And if you are using your GI 911 in financing, you do need to contact Mr. Peter Brandt. He is the Veteran Services Counselor. So he will be able to help you process all of that paperwork with Delgado so that gets applied to your account. So I'm putting his email address in here. And I did just pull everybody back from their breakout rooms. So faculty members, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to meet with our students and give them more information about their programs. Y'all are good to go for the day and enjoy this wonderful sunshine. And then for students, if y'all have any questions in regards to enrollment, enrollment steps, I'm about to pull up the scholarship website for someone that asked about the scholarship. So I'll be able to show you all that. If you have any questions, either unmute and ask those questions or post them in the chat, and I can answer the questions as they pop up. So like I mentioned, I'm going to share the website right now for the scholarship. Someone did ask me about that. So if you're on the main site under admissions and aid, you're going to click on this financial aid link. And right here in the left-hand sidebar, it says scholarships. And so there's 3 scholarships that our state office, LCTCS, offers for students, Future Farmers of America, Skills USA, and JAG. So if you fall into any one of those categories, there are scholarships that you can be eligible for through that. Delgado scholarship is this link right here. Fill out the Delgado scholarship application. And it's just this form, personal information. It does list all the scholarships, but if you're not sure, it does show you what all of them are here. But if you don't want to take time to go through all of those, you don't have to check off any of them. It asks for your academic information if you're a first-time freshman. If you're transferring, you don't have to fill in ACT and stuff like that. If you're transferring, you would just put your college information. Activities and interests, any organizations you've been involved in and awards you've won. Very short essay, only 250 words that you can upload here. And then you do need a letter of recommendation. So you just need one from anyone minus a family member. So any teacher, counselor, employer, coworker, you know, anyone that's just not your family. And then you just sign it and submit it. So very straightforward scholarship. We're going to start awarding scholarships towards the end of April, beginning of May. And those will be awarded across multiple times. So the first batch will be from the first group of people that apply. I do recommend applying now so that you're in that first round. But then based on how much of the scholarships are given out at that point, there'll be a next round and then a next round. But the earlier the better, because then you'll know what you're eligible for. And if you are looking for those third party, this external scholarship opportunities, will bring you to all of these ones I mentioned that are from other organizations, but they've been verified by our financial aid department. So you can see there's a lot listed here, and there's also some specific to service members, veterans, military, and then dependents or spouses of military, and scholarships, fellowships for minorities. It's all kind of broken down for you, so it's a little bit easier to navigate. I did see some things popping up in the chat here, so I want to make sure I get those questions. Where did I put the chat box? All right. Submit your previous credits. So if you are transferring any credits in, you do have to have that sent from your institution. And so you're just going to have it sent to Delgado Admissions at DCC. I'm going to type that in the chat. But you just have to request it from your, if you have it already, if you have it sealed in an envelope, you can bring it to our City Park location. We have, or you can put it in another envelope and stick it in the mail to us. I'll put whatever's kind of easier for you. If you bring it to City Park, you're going to bring it to the Student Services Center. If you want to throw it in the mail, like put it in a, don't open it. Always keep your official transcripts sealed. If once you open it, they're not official and we can't take them. So always keep them sealed, and you're going to send them to Admissions Building 2. I'm putting all this in the chat information here. City Park Ave, New Orleans, LA 70119. All right, I just put that address in the chat space there, so you can just put them in the mail, and it takes anywhere from 7 to 10 days to for us to receive it and then upload it into the system. However, it will be scanned to your account. So even if the credits are not fully articulated over yet, it'll be scanned so you can still use it for advising. So like the advisors will still be able, once we've received your transcript, advisors will be able to see your transcript and evaluate that, even if the courses, the system hasn't articulated your courses yet. A returning student, how do I reset? How do I refund from? So if you have been a student before, once you've reapplied to your Lola account. And so within Lola is where you will make any changes to your personal information or refund information. Hopefully, I'm going to try and see if I can show you on mine. I did take classes at Delgado, but I haven't. I'll have to see. So this is, so start at the home page. This is when you first log into Lola. Y'all will just have this student option. And then this is where all of your information is. So for the refund specific, you're going to select refund choice. And it's going to bring you, I think, to the Bank Mobile page. We're still using Bank Mobile as the, yeah. So it'll bring you to Bank Mobile. And then you're going to click to set up your profile. And so you can either choose to get a Bank Mobile, like the card, they'll put the refund on the card and send you the card, or you can have it directly deposited into your bank. And you just have to put in your like banking information, your checking account, routing number, and all that stuff. So you'll basically just click to set up your profile. If your profile is already set up from being here before, you can just go in and edit your profile to make sure, check it to make sure it has the things that you need it to have for your refund information. And then if you're using a different email address or anything like that, you'll want to just update your personal information if your email has changed. So if you go back to the main page of Lola, under personal information, there is a section here for personal information again, and then your email. So if you're preferred under this personal email preferred, if that's not the email that you're currently using or checking, just click on this little pencil to edit it and just update that, because we communicate mostly through email to let you know what your next steps are and to provide you important deadline information, financial information about your financial aid and the process and all of that. So I do recommend making sure you have a current email address that you're checking on your profile there, so that you're not missing anything that we're sending you. Any other questions? Lots of good questions today. I really appreciate y'all being so involved and ready. I'll put my contact information in here as well. So if you have anything moving forward, like you leave this meeting and you think of something you meant to ask, or you run into any issues in your enrollment process, you can just reach out to me. For all of our staff, because of the pandemic, we're not in the offices every day. So email is the best because we're kind of rotating days on campus, but we always have access to our email rather than phone. So for me, I can always respond to emails within 24 hours. And so any help that anyone needs at all, I do encourage you to sort of reach out. But if no one has any other questions, I'll hang